everyone, it's Sandra from the Funky Pickle Thrifter. Thank you so much for coming to my video today. So I get lots and lots of messages asking how on earth I organize my jewelry collection. As many of you know, I go to a lot of thrift stores and I also go to a lot of yard sales and a lot of auctions. Sometimes I buy hundreds of pieces of jewelry at a time. Maybe a couple of times in my life I will tell you I've bought thousands of pieces of jewelry at a time. Well, that jewelry needs to be sorted out and organized. So I'm going to show you today how I organize my collection. This is a system that I just sort of made up out of necessity. It's been working for me for about 25 years. I'm also going to show you my whole collection. Well, a lot of my collection, we'll put it that way. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. I hope this video is helpful. Please share it if you think this would be helpful to anybody else. If you want to share it on any Facebook groups or on your YouTube channel or on your Instagram, you are welcome to. Hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment below, and let's get started. Okay, so the organizing system I designed is hierarchical. It will go into the first category. If it doesn't fit there, then the second, then the third, then the fourth. I do have some exceptions within my collection, which we can talk about. You probably will too. But the very, very first thing that gets pulled out right away from anything that I buy is the real stuff, precious metals. So sterling silver goes into its own area. Gold goes into its own area as well. I don't keep gold. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I sell it. I either put it on my eBay page and sell it, or I actually have a guy in the Diamond District in New York City who gives me very good prices for things. So that's what I do. But the first thing is, in most categories of jewelry, and I do have a couple of exceptions, and we can talk about those too, like stick pins is one that comes to mind. I do have some real gold in there. But in general, real gold and real silver does not get commingled with other categories of jewelry. So if it's not gold and it's not silver, the next thing we take a look at is if it's a designer piece. So if I have a piece that's designer signed, I pull that out and I put that with other pieces that are also designer signed. And inside the special box I have, which I will show you, I'll show you all the different designer jewelry I have. That's all sorted out by name. The third category is figural jewelry. So if I have an elephant, or I have a dog, or I have a hand, you know, I collect hands, right? So each of those goes into its own little bag, and then that goes into a box where I have all my figural jewelry. So the fourth thing is material. I have a box where I keep jewelry by different materials. So for example, pearls get their own spot. Rhinestones get their own spot. Another category for me is plastic. So plastics has its own bag. I have also a whole box full of copper. The next category down is color. So I have different drawers of different colored jewelry. I have a drawer of just blue jewelry. I have a drawer of red jewelry, and so on. So that's just another way that I organize things, is by color. Next up is type. So I have a drawer full of miscellaneous items that are all in their separate bags. I have rings, necklaces, bracelets that don't fit in any other category. And then the very last thing is I have some special collections. I have Victorian jewelry and antique jewelry that I keep to the side. So if I have a piece of red jewelry, but it's an antique piece of jewelry, I will not put that in the red drawer. That will be in my special area where I keep that. The purpose of this organizing system is so I can put my hands on a piece of jewelry very, very quickly and very, very accurately. So in the hierarchy, if I, for example, told you that I had a 1950s pink cat brooch, where would that go? That would be in figural, because that figural is higher than color. If it was a pink cat that was sterling silver, it would just go right into the sterling silver, because that is higher up on the hierarchy than figural. I want to mention the reason that it's taken me so long to get to this video, because people have really been asking for it for a long time, and I've been promising it for a long time, is because I wanted to make sure everything was spotlessly clean and everything was really lined up properly. And I decided instead I would just go with it. So everything might be a little bit messy. I am just going to do it, because if I wait till everything's perfectly organized and things are lined up really beautifully, then I'm never going to do it. So please pardon the mess. One thing about my storage system is it works for me. It might not work for you, but this is how I do things. So let's have a look at some of the stuff. So here's where most of my jewelry is. I keep it all right here. I got this thing at a yard sale and I wouldn't recommend it. It's really kind of awful. Like, these drawers are always falling. but I don't really go into them very often. When I do, I'm very careful. Here's something I really like to use in some of my jewelry, because I do keep some of it in bags. These are Intertech blue silica gel packets. So you take some of these, you put them in the microwave for a few seconds, and then you seal these inside plastic bags. When they turn purple, I think it's purple, then you know that they have gotten the moisture in them. But while they're blue, they are good to use. So just a little side note there. All right, so let's really get started on my system here. So I don't have any silver here right now, and what gold I have is actually in a separate box waiting to be put on eBay. So I keep the stuff that I want to sell, you know, in a separate place. But gold filled is something else that I don't put in with costume jewelry. I don't think I mentioned that. So gold, silver, and gold filled I pull out and put into their own area. Now within this bag, I have, you know, the pendants separated out. I think the earrings separated out, and so on. I think I do. Anyhow, so this is the very first level of the hierarchy, precious metals. The second level is designer. So there are exceptions, of course. Like if I only have one or two of a certain piece, then that is not going to get its own bag. But this is my Trifari bag. I do have more too, because I have so much stuff that I need to, you know, fold in here. I have a lot of stuff I have to organize. So here is a Coro bag. Now you can see within here, earrings are separated out. Necklaces should be separated out, and bracelets should be separated out also. Yeah, I have some really nice stuff in here. What I want to do is I'll do shows like one designer at a time if you guys want. We can talk a lot about the history of each designer, and I'll show you the pieces I have. Of course, all my A-list pieces I sell, you know, but I still have some nice things for sure. Let's see who else we have in here. A little bit of Kramer. Kramer's a good seller. When I get Kramer, I usually sell it. I don't know why I still have that blue rhinestone thing. Well, it's pretty nice. What is this? That looks like Sarah, right? Some Sarah Coventry, Marvella. I only have a couple of pieces of that. Yeah, so this is where most of the designer stuff, Napier. Oh, you guys want to see something? I don't want to keep showing you stuff because this will be like a 500-hour video. But I do have a Doris Day bracelet. Some collectors are going to know what I'm talking about. This is a really cool bracelet. Hold on, let me take it out of the bag. How about that? Isn't this cool? This was a yard sale find, but this one was pre-eBay. This was probably in the mid-90s or the early 90s. I paid $1 for it. This has some nice value. Is that verdigris? Oh my lord, I have to get that off. Anyway, this is a fantastic kumquat Doris Day Napier bracelet. Okay, let's move on to the next tier, which is Figural. So my Figural stuff is mostly in this box. Let's see, I have birds, horses, cats. What's in here? I think these are dogs. Yeah, I can feel this mink one. Oh, how cute is that dog? I actually got a pair of these at a yard sale. And then there's one in here that should just be miscellaneous, where I don't really have enough to have its own bag. This is it. So, oh, a monkey. Look at him, googly eyes. I guess I don't have enough monkeys for their own bag. Fish, elephants. Anyway, you get the picture. Figural jewelry. This is in the third tier of the hierarchy, and now next we will go to material. So one of these boxes has a lot of bags in it that has different stuff. I have cameos, I have damascene, I have copper, and so on. But what we will look at are just some of the drawers here, and I'll show you what I mean. So here's some plastics that I have. I do have more plastics than this. Just this whole drawer is really overflowing. Can you see that? I have a lot of great stuff in here. There's some Bakelite bangles, some Moonglow lucite. Oh, I love this one. Look at this. That's gorgeous. $3.99. I paid for that. These are Bakelite, of course. It's a really famous piece of jewelry. These cherries from the 40s. And anyway, I have a little bit more plastic, and I'll show you that. I keep some of the bangles in here. So So I have some more. I love this one. I wear this one sometimes. It looks like limes, right? Some beautiful things. Look at this one. That one's sort of unusual, I think. Anyway, so that's some of my plastic. Now the jewelry I wear is actually somewhere else too. That would be like, we could do a whole different show on that. Here's some pearls. Most of those I'm sure are costume. Okay, so we have a whole drawer full of crystals. I think the necklaces are just flat like that. Here's some brooches. My one exception are rings. Rings I don't really, like if I had a crystal ring, I wouldn't put it in there. I don't know why I do that, but I do. Oops, wait, that's a color. I have a rhinestone. Oh, here it is. These are all rhinestones. So I think all the, yeah, rhinestone necklaces. The necklaces are in here. And here's an example. Here's a Pigural. So that does not go into, is that how you say that? That doesn't go into the designer box because that's the only one I have. What is this? Judy Lee. Yeah, same thing. I don't really have a lot of Judy Lee. So there's some material. All right, so our next category is color. So if things don't fall into those first categories, then they just get thrown into the color bin. So let's take a look at colors. Okay, so this whole bin is blue and I think purple. Yeah, blue and purple. That's how I did it. I have some really A-list stuff in here. Really, really A-list stuff. Whoa, look at that. So here's my blue and my purples, and then, oh, I forgot I had these wedding cake beads. Those are nice. I should probably sell those. Those are gorgeous. Yeah, look at this awesome collar thing. Anyway, okay, I'm just really trying to show you how the system works, not the jewelry per se, you know. Okay, here's my yellow and orange drawer. I have a lot of amber, as you can see, and yeah, this is yellow and orange. Some really pretty stuff. So that's, whoa, that's that. And, oh, these are greens, obviously. Really pretty. I think this is only green, right? Yeah. The earrings are separated out, and that will have a thing in to fight the moisture. Here's my red and pink drawer. Oh, this one's amazing. Yeah, this one's an original by Robert, right? Yeah, beautiful. He was a big designer to the Hollywood stars, you know, and used in movies and so on. I love this piece. This was not a yard sale find. It was my birthday and I was in a flea market and I think, I can't remember what I paid for it, but it wasn't a small amount. It was like $40 or something. So yeah, I just really, I went a little bit wild. Girls Gone Wild Jewelry Edition. Okay, so that's my reds. What else can I show you? Well, let's go to the next tier in the hierarchy. If jewelry doesn't fit into any of the categories in the hierarchy so far, then they just get put into the type thing. Where is my type? Yeah, this is just sort of a catch-all. Like, here are some necklaces. You see they're not designer. These are not real gold, obviously. They're not a color, they're not a special material, they're not figural. So as you can see, we have brooches, rings. Mom, oh, I think I was supposed to sell all these for her. Oops. I think she gave me these because I'm supposed to put these on my page. All right, well, I don't know, maybe I'll do a jewelry show. I have to do a sales show. I know, I'm falling behind in all the things I want to do. There's some earrings. See, so these are just sort of nondescript, right? That's the thing. Like I said, I don't put the colored ones when it comes to rings and stuff. Those just go into the ring. Oh, sterling. All right, that should actually be in the sterling box, but that happens to be not here right now. Anyhow, okay, so this is just sort of our catch-all, and this is type. Now, the two drawers on top, I just have some miscellaneous stuff that I haven't gotten around to sorting yet. Oh, this is amazing. It's like a little thing you put in your hair and it's clear, and then it has these magnetic rhinestones that stick together. I love wearing this in the summer. I wear these things all summer long. Okay, so that's just miscellany that I need to sort. And the same here. This is more miscellany. These are all sterling. I think I got these all at the same place. These rings are amazing. They all fit me, and they're all of that same sort of old-fashioned look, you know, that old-fashioned style. And this is this is a Weiss. Yeah, it is. This was actually a thrift store find. Beautiful watermelon Rivoli. Would you consider that watermelon? Let me see. Is it? You see pinks and greens? It's kind of hard to tell. Whoa, look at that. Now, when I put this away, this is going to have to be a decision I make. Sometimes it can go one of two ways. I would tend to put this in the Victorian box, but it could also go into the Cameo collection. But I think I would put that in Victorian. All right, so the very, very last category are just a few special collections I have. So let's take a quick look at those. So here's most of my stick pin collection. So here's one of the rare times when I do keep the real gold with the fake gold. I just think it's kind of bad policy, but I do it, you know, now and again with certain things. Oh, look at that cute little thing. Here's a little vase. I don't really collect those, but if I see them at yard sales, I pick them up. So, oh, you know what? I wanted to show you a little bit of my Victorian and antique jewelry. Hold on. Here it is. So my antique and my Victorian jewelry go in this box. And I also keep some antique photographs in here because these girls have some jewelry, some of them. Yeah, look at that. Look at that jet necklace. Anyway, I'll show you those at another time. There's hair jewelry in here. Here's an antique doctor's doll. I sort of keep this in here. This is a very sad object. This is ivory. And due to modesty, many, many years ago, a man, instead of letting his wife go to the doctor and disrobe, you know, gasp, he would bring this doll to the place where the doctor was, and then he'd point on the doll to wherever his wife was hurting, and then the doctor would, you know, just give it his best guess, and hopefully the lady wouldn't die. Now, some of these are just decorative. I mean, I couldn't really prove that this was ever used for that purpose, but it is a very, very sad item, and I got this from someone in my family. I can't remember who, but anyway, I could never sell it because you can't sell ivory, but sort of an interesting item. I have some antique branch coral. Here's some of my mourning jewelry, right? Yeah, oh, antique glasses. There's some Chambleve right there. Anyway, you get the idea. Yeah, there's a lot of hair and mourning pieces in here. This is an interesting little thing right here. This is called Vauxhall glass. It's a Victorian thing. And then I have just like antique glass, like, antique jewelry rather. Just stuff that's probably from the 30s. I might have a couple things from the 40s in here. I probably shouldn't really, you know. Anyway, you get the idea. And let's just see what other kind of trouble we can get into here. So here's a specialty collection. I love collecting flower jewelry. And so here's a whole box full of flowers. Not flower power, that's a separate collection. There's some really pretty stuff in here though. Okay, here's the flower power. Whoa, I have a lot of flower power jewelry. I know this looks unsafe, but I don't, you know, nobody's in here like rubbing these up against each other. They just sit here still, and if I have to go into them, I'm very, very careful. So that's my flower power. Yeah, this one isn't really enamel, so it sort of doesn't qualify, but it was in the shape of flower power, so that's why I put it in there. Anyhow, there's that. And, what's this one? Oh yeah, here's a whole thing of bracelets, right? So this one is just a box by type. And I guess that's pretty much it. So now what I wanted to do is go through a little bit of jewelry with you that I have to sort, and we can try to figure out where we need to put it. Here are some of the pieces that need to be organized. So let's see if we can work out exactly where I would put them. So here's a multicolored pendant. But it is actually missing a little thing right here. So I didn't show it to you, but I do have a box of stuff that needs to be repaired. So that's where this would go. And then after that, you can see this is a Sarah Coventry. Oops, it's a brooch, I guess. So this one would not go in the multicolored box. this would go into the Sarah Coventry box because designer is further up on the hierarchy than is color. This would be a little bit of a choice, but since they are plastic, I would put this into the specialty collection of plastic. I would not put that in with yellow, but I actually could do either. So the whole point, right, is so I can just find my jewelry. Worst case, I would think about this necklace, and then I would only at least have two places to look. It's either in the yellow or it's in the plastic. So this one is old, so this would go into my antique jewelry. This one is a little bit later than Victorian. That's beautiful. And here is a little poodle. Of course, this one cannot go into Figural because it's a Monet, new with tags. That's really cute. Here's some earrings. So here's something else that would sort of be a choice, right? Because not only are they Moon Glow Thermoset, they also have that clear rhinestone. But look, I think these are more thermoset than they are rhinestone. And I wouldn't put these in the white box. I would actually put these in the specialty collection of plastic. That's just, you know, how, that's a sort of my choice. So the specialty collections, we bypass all the rules and they just go straight into that box. This one is just a multicolored brooch, right? Not signed by anybody. So this would go into the multicolor box. Here's a beautiful red set. I have the earrings here. And what are they signed? Oh, I know what they're signed. These say gold filled. So these would go directly into the gold filled, not into the red. These are from the 40s. Yeah, these aren't really old enough for my antique box, so these will go in the gold filled area. So here's two crazy things. These are Figural, even though they are multicolor. They could go into pearl too, but Figural comes above material, so that's why these would both go in Figural. I never did figure out what in the world these things are. They're so weird, right? I love those. And so this one seems like this one probably would go in the pink unless it's signed, which it isn't. So that will go in with the pink. Well, this one's easy. This one will go in my crystals drawer. That's beautiful. And let's see. This is a gorgeous 1940s pin. This one is sterling. So this would not go in with the green. This has to go in with the sterling jewelry. And then this cannot go in Figural because this one is sterling too. If you can see it. Oh, it's bell trading. Yeah, this one is sterling. So that one goes in sterling. I didn't show you, but I do have a whole drawer full of men's accessories. So that's a specialty collection. So those would go in with men's accessories. And then I also didn't show you, but I do have a specialty box with Egyptian flavored jewelry. So this one would go into that box. All right, so hopefully you get the hang of this. I hope this is helpful. So let's try a few more. So here's one that would actually fit into two specialty collections because this is a men's tie clasp, but it's also Egyptian themed. Oops. So I personally would choose to put this in the Egyptian area. Here's some beautiful red earrings. And these are marked Napier, so that's a no-brainer. These go into the designer box in the Napier bag. And here's one that's tricky. Where in the world should this one go? I don't think that's copper. I think it's copper colored, but I don't think it's copper. So I would probably just put this in type. I would probably just put this in the drawer and put this in the brooch bag because I don't know, that doesn't sort of fit in anywhere. So let's do this last batch. This is a beautiful necklace, isn't it? So this isn't designer. It's not real. I would not put this in my yellow collection because I would just rather put it in my older, you know, antique and real vintagey box I have. So that's where I would put this one. This pink necklace is killer. I can't put it in with the pinks though because it is sterling. It is marked That's gorgeous. So this one's kind of tricky. It has some turquoise. I don't even know what this is. It's not a bracelet. It's just like these old beads strung on this thread right here. So I guess I would put this in with my oranges. You know, I'll put this in with my other amber that I have. And here is a brooch. Very nice little brooch. Nothing wrong with this, right? Isn't that cute? So this is probably from the 40s or 50s. Now I think that this one would just go in type. I think this is another one where I would just put this in with brooches. All right, so that's that. Thank you so much for coming to my video today. I hope this was helpful to those of you who are looking for ways to organize your collection. Of course, everything can be tailored to your own way, but maybe you can use some of my ideas as just a launching pad for your own collection. All right, thanks a million, everybody, for coming and watching. Please share this video, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and all that kind of stuff. And I will catch you soon, I hope. All right? Cheers, everybody. Thanks.